It's May, and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, music, museums, and a Baker Fair recap. Welcome to the May edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Now, May is usually fairly quiet in the library, kind of like the calm before the storm of summer reading. But we apparently didn't get that memo this year, because May is jumping out all over with events and activities for the whole family. Train Day earlier in the month, the Fix-It Fair, the Soul Food Festival, even Bear Day are just a few of the large-scale programs taking place this month. The Baton Rouge Concert Band returns with a free Memorial Day program on Monday, May 25th. Plus, we'll host other free music programs in May. The Pops Concert by the Civic Orchestra of Baton Rouge, the Talented Music Spring Concert, Dulcimer Concert, and the Kids Orchestra. And if you want to make a joyful noise at home, check out some ukuleles and form your own family band. The library will go to the dogs again this May with the All Paws on Deck walk for pet cancer awareness in the plaza. And for a blast from the past, the Baton Rouge Room's monthly lecture will take you back with remembering Star 80, home of local nightlife in the iconic Spanish Moon. And to protect your past, consider the library's new VHS digitization service and even VHS mold cleaner, now available by appointment at the main library. Summer reading kicks off after Memorial Day. There are special events for children and teens to get us in the mood to plant a seed, read, including performances by Harvey Rabbit and Friends, Lady Chops, and Tim the Magician. Summer Movies on the Plaza comes back with Zootopia on June 5th. And that's not even counting our regular programs like Garden Discoveries, Seed Libraries, the Master Gardeners, and even the Bluebonnet Sprout Scouts. Of course, since there are dozens of programs offered each week, you might want to filter the online calendar by location or age group to make it easy to find something that suits your family's busy schedule. Don't forget that you can now check out Louisiana museums and state parks with your library card. Details are in this month's edition of The Source, available in print and online at ebrpl.com. And for all you patrons living in and around the Baker Branch Library, you might be aware that the Baker Branch is on deck for a major renovation and expansion. I'd like to invite you to join us on Monday, May 11th, for a design charrette to look at the two concepts being put forward by our architect. This will be an open house style, so be part of the process and drop in any time between 4 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. to check out the proposed features and overall designs being considered for the Baker Branch. We need to hear from you. And finally, let me update you on the library's millage continuation proposition. All the information is available on our website, of course, but in a nutshell, the library is up for your vote on the June 27th ballot. Basically, you will be asked to vote on a very simple question. Shall there be a library? Yes or no? The proposition is simple, straightforward, and standalone. All the funds will remain with the library. It's pretty much the same proposition that voters have answered yes to since 1986. That's why it's called a continuation. And it's at a lower tax rate, 9.5 mils. This is lower than what voters approved in 1995, 2005, and 2015. And that even allows for 2 rollbacks during the 10-year period. This dedicated property tax is the source of almost all the funding for the library systems. If it fails, the library receives 0 new revenues from the 2026 tax year. We'd have to operate completely off of savings, which would mean cuts to the book budget, the Libby e-book budget, and other services and programs. Capital improvements would be delayed or deferred, and we would have to consider reducing hours of operations throughout the system. FAQs are posted online, and we've scheduled informational presentations through May and June at libraries all over the parish. Check it out at ebrpl.com/millage. We try to offer platforms in the digital library that parallel the kinds of programs and resources that our patrons use in person. So it's easy to understand that since we host live concerts and ballet performances in our libraries, we also provide circulating DVDs, Blu-rays, and CDs, and even provide access to streaming music and dance. It's harder to make the shift when we think of the physical activities. We host walking clubs, movement of motion, and we have rule books for every sport known to man. But how can a digital platform enhance physical activity? Let's find out in the digital download.
Hive Class is a leading digital platform designed to provide instructional video content focused on sports, physical literacy, and wellness. Its core mission is to promote active screen time, shifting screen use from passive entertainment to engaging educational physical activity. You'll find short-form, skill-based videos that teach sport and exercise fundamentals and build physical competence. The videos are available in both English and Spanish. You'll often find in-person classes using Hive Class at the library, so be sure to check our online calendar, but you can also do it yourself from home. Hive Class includes popular team sports like soccer, basketball, and pickleball, as well as individual activities such as fitness routines, swimming, yoga, and dance. These engaging courses with encouraging instructors are broken down into smaller modules, so it's easy to fit into a busy schedule. While it was initially focused on kids and teen sports, recently added modules include senior mobility and nutrition. Therefore, it has something for all ages, fitness levels, and interests. You'll find Hive Class in the digital library at ebrpl.com.
Research has proven over and over again that people who remain active live longer and richer lives. I love the fact that the Hive Class folks have added more videos for mindfulness, so important at any age, and even armchair yoga. We're working with them to develop more mini classes to increase balance and mobility in our aging population. Pairs nicely with the many free programs held in person each month in the library to get people up and moving, as well as our brand new Get Set Up platform.
I'm Claire DeLon. I'm the social media coordinator here at the library, and we are at the first ever Bake Fair at the library. We have an amazing turnout today, which is wonderful. It's what I thought, that there's other people like me who love baked goods and love just supporting local businesses here in Baton Rouge. This is our first ever event. We started at 2 o'clock today, and we still have a ton of people here. So I came up with this idea just after having actually one of Mid-City Bakery's cookies one night. And the next morning, I was just started thinking about all the different bakeries that are here that I'd love to try, but they're cottage bakers, so you can't always access them at one time. And I came up with the idea of just having them all come to here, the main library, on one day, and so everybody could enjoy it. So we have a lot of different cottage bakers here today. We have Maru Bread, who is always like super popular. She's always here on Tuesdays at our Red Stick Farmers Market. We also have people like Mid-City Bakery, who's here with they've started the Capital City Bakers Alliance, and they're trying to get all these bakers together. So that should be really great. They're here today. Their stuff is wonderful as well. There's also M's Bakery, which is another popular one. They're here, they have their own cult following too, and I know they have a long line upstairs. Cottage Bakery is somebody who bakes at home. They don't have a brick and mortar store. They just usually bake at home, and they'll sell either out of their house or they'll look for events like this to be able to sell their baked goods. At events like this, you really see why, because this event is free for everyone to come out to, and we have all kinds of things here for everybody. It coincides with National Bake Week, and that's a week just to highlight local bakers and home bakers. So we're here today celebrating our local bakers here in East Baton Rouge Parish. We have over 25 bakers here, as well as teen bakers and kid bakers. And then we're also highlighting library resources from our cookbooks to our maker space, so you can make cookie cutters and measuring cups with our 3D printer. There's a lot of other resources we have here at the library, and we're just highlighting that all today. The East Baton Rouge Parish Library is the heart of the community, and it's always great for events like this when everybody from the community shows up. And it's a great way for us to highlight the resources we have here and all the ways that the library can benefit you.
Our first ever Baker Fair was quite a treat, with over 2,500 attendees eating their way through the main library. We had cookie contests, edible books, sweet swag, and goodies galore. I'm getting a toothache just thinking about it. All those scrumptious sweets from our talented cottage and local bakers. For more events like this, be sure to check out the calendar at ebrpl.com. Stay right there. After the break, Brandon Riley joins me for a chat about the new Fix-It Fair right here on the Library Rouge.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Access to data is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to Data Axle reference solutions so you can find employment through job search, gather industry information to guide your business insights, get a library card.
You're watching the May edition of the Library Roadshow, everything you need to know about your local library system. We've hosted many programs and classes featuring creative makers and upcyclers and brought you the Maker Fair for more than 10 years. And along the way, we've heard from many folks that wish they could find a place to remake or fix something from home. So Brandon Riley, coordinator for community programming, took on the challenge and the Fix-It Fair was born. All right, Brandon, as far as I know, there's never been a Fix-It Fair in Baton Rouge. What is a Fix-It Fair?
As far as we know, too, there has never been a Fix-It Fair in Baton Rouge. A Fix-It Fair, our direct inspiration for this is the Fix-It Cafe in Lafayette, which is kind of a monthly gathering of people that help other people fix things. And in researching, we found throughout the country, these Fix-It Cafes have kind of sprung up all over the place in the spirit of sort of community assistance and people helping people.
It's really crowdsourcing, isn't it?
Oh,
Crowd
it's great.
fixing, yeah.
Absolutely,
I like
it is.
that.
And it plugs into narratives of sustainability and community and connection and being responsible for your things and stewardship.
And recycling and keeping things out of the landfill, all of those things. All right, so what are the details for our first ever Fix-It Fair?
Okay, so our fair is going to be on May 16th from 10 to 3 that's a Saturday. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring a bunch of different people and different groups into the plaza. They're going to set up tables. We're going to have some activities out in the parking lot. We have a group that's going to come in and help people fix their tail lights.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Front Yard Bicycles is going to be out here, and they're going to help people with minor repairs, and they'll help people find out how to do major repairs that they won't necessarily be able to do on site. We've got various groups and businesses and people that are interested in coming out and doing small engine repair, which
that.
I'm really interested in because I think it helps people get prepared for hurricane season. We're going to have costume and clothing repair in the teens room. The Capital Area STEM Network will be out here, and they're going to be sort of highlighting their Spark Your Summer program, which we're going to be hosting at Carver again this year. A lovely program that teaches people how to do simple repairs around their house. So At any rate, throughout the day, people will be here, skills will be learned, knowledge will be exchanged, and we're going to showcase the 600s.
All right. Yeah,
Yes.
the 600s in the library is the how-to section.
Absolutely.
And people may not even realize, as long as I've been in the library, more than 40 years, we've had the Chiltons, we've had the Mitchell's manuals, and now we have them online. So now, do people have to register?
People do not have to register for the event, but there are some particular fixes that can be kind of complicated. We mentioned the small engine repair, so we do have a sign up for that online.
Okay.
And we also have a designated area where people will bring their small engines, and we want to emphasize they must be small engines.
Right.
Yes. But other than that, not at this time. We don't really anticipate any sort of sign-ups. Well, let me correct myself here. We're going to have a section where people can self-serve with tools that we bring in.
Okay.
Nothing sharp.
Okay.
But we're still going to have a little waiver form for people to sign off before they use the various pliers and screwdrivers.
Because sometimes it's an easy fix, but you just don't have the tool that's needed to make that fix.
And one thing we want people to know, that if you are bringing in something for a somewhat complicated repair or something that requires a part, that you should probably bring that part with you. We'll have things like light bulbs and cabling and wire, but we're not going to have carburetors on
Right.
hand.
Well, no.
Right.
And I know sometimes, especially after the flood, people made things with the 3D printers to replace a particular cam or cog or something like that. But that has to be done ahead of time because that takes a little bit of while.
It does, but that also makes me want to mention this. We do have a person from LSU, a professor who's coming out, who will help people 3D scan their family heirlooms.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Yes.
All right. So how do folks learn more about this?
Well, you can go to our website and look up the event on our events calendar. We also have a LibGuide that's available. You can Google up Fix-It Fair and EBRPL, and it'll take you right to it.
Okay, well, thank you. Don't forget, the library provides resources in print and online for weekend warriors who want to operate or fix small engines, perform household repairs, sew, or just be crafty in general. After the break, artist and author Paul Schexnayder. Stay with us on the Library Roadshow.
Preparing children to enter kindergarten is good for us all. That's why we created Press Start, an early learning initiative that provides a free activity booklet every month that explores early literacy skills through play and interaction at home. Get a library card.
Welcome back to the May edition of the Library Roadshow. Paul Schexnayder, a Louisiana artist whose work captures the color, rhythm, and spirit of Bayou life, has spent more than 3 decades as a professional artist and is known for his vibrant, whimsical paintings and storytelling that brings South Louisiana to life. A graduate of LSU and a longtime educator, Paul has also made a name for himself as an award-winning children's author and illustrator, with multiple books published and creative projects across the state, from murals to festivals. And now he's back with the next installment in his imaginative series, The Gumbo Gators and the Swamp Circus, a playful, richly illustrated adventure rooted in the culture he knows best. Paul joins us now to talk about this book, his creative process, and the stories that continue to inspire his work. Paul, welcome to the show. How'd you get your start as an author?
About 15 years ago, I illustrated about 6 to 8 other authors' books, and then decided to start writing my own. And I have currently about 6 children's books that were published as an author illustrator. And I got to start with that part by joining a kid lit critique group.
What inspired you to write your books?
What inspired me was it was a sequel to the first one, which is just called The Gumbo Gators. And I always wanted to do a circus book. I had done an art shoot about 10 years ago featuring alligator circus performers. And I finally got around to writing a children's book based on that.
What advice would you give to an aspiring author or illustrator?
My advice is to keep writing and to keep reading, and also look at what, go search some agents and just to see what they're looking for and what they are into. And it'll also tell you how to query them. And I would write a query and maybe a synopsis and all the stuff that they're looking for even before you start writing. I mean, you obviously have to have an idea, but it's going to help you kind of formulate your whole story that way. It's much easier to start that way and then to work it all out, and then you can start your story. But either way, I get inspired by stories, but also mostly artwork.
Where can our viewers learn more about you and your work?
You can learn about me at Scheck.com. That's SCHEX.com. And I'm in New Liberia, and I have a gallery called the A&E Gallery, and I sell the books that way. And most of the books that Pelican has published of mine are in bookstores near you, as well as a bunch of boutiques and gift shops. Okay, thanks. My number is, my email is paul@schex.com.
Thanks, Paul. The mysticality of Louisiana birthed such fantastic stories. Be sure to check out Paul's work online in Libby. And what does Louisiana have more of than gators? Bugs. Our state is full of crawling critters, spiders, ants, and maybe the most frightening of all, beetles. But instead of squashing them, we decided to pull out our magnifying glasses and take a closer look.
Unique in beetles because it's not fused to the rest of the thorax.
Hey, I'm Amber King. I'm here to present on Beetle Mania today and the City Nature Challenge. I'm here representing the Master Naturalists, who are a volunteer organization who like to volunteer to educate and conserve nature. And we're also the organizers of the City Nature Challenge, which is a global biodiversity event happening April 24th through 27th. And we need you to help us document all the biodiversity in Southeast Louisiana. All you do is take your phone or your camera and go take photos of anything wild. Bugs, birds, beetles, which I'm going to talk about today. Anything you can find, like even weeds in your yard, anything wild. And we want to collect all that information April 24th, 27th. And then hopefully we will beat our neighbors in Texas like Austin and Houston. I originally started not really having much knowledge about nature, and then when I started the Master Naturalist program, I discovered nocturnal insects, so moths and beetles, and I go out at night and I put up a sheet with a big light and attract them to the sheet, and then I photograph them and put them in iNaturalist to create biodiversity data, and it's very addicting, very fun, and you learn so much from iNaturalist. I hope everyone today learns that beetles are extremely biodiverse. They are the undersung pollinators of our Earth. I hope people will learn just about the incredible biodiversity of beetles, meaning there are so many of them and they are so unique and so many different shapes and forms and sizes, and they have really important roles in our environment, like they decompose fallen trees, and the dung beetles clean up the cow patties, and they have so many roles in the environment, including pollination, and I'm hoping that they will get a little more of a status along lines with bees and butterflies. I love the presentations at the library and the meeting space. It's so modern, it's beautifully lit, and it's comfortable, and I love that just everybody in the community can come here like it's their living room and just meet people and hear different presentations, and it's all free.
Thorax is not fused.
More fascinating than frightening, beetles play an important role in both the insect and animal kingdoms. So next time you think about giving one the boot, remember, they're just doing their part to keep the world going round. Stay right there. You're watching the Library Roadshow.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that supporting the education of students is good for us all. That's why we make available free test preparation tools through Learning Express and Mometrics. plus reference tools for all ages. Get a library card.
You're watching the May edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. To combat litter in Louisiana, our patrons joined together to keep the boot clean. We put them in neon vests, handed out trash grabbers, and made sure no piece of litter stood a chance. Every nook and cranny of our main library location was scouted, and every pesky piece of trash met immediate defeat.
I'm Brandon Riley. I'm the Librarian 4 Coordinator for Adult Community Programming, Special Projects, and Outreach with the library. And we are here today for Love the Boot Week, which is part of Keep Louisiana Beautiful, sponsored by the State Office of Tourism. As you can see, we have a full table of apparatuses that will help you pick up litter here at Independence Park today. We've had at least 100 people come by, pick up garbage bags, t-shirts, high visibility vests, and of course, litter grabbers to help clean up the park. Also going on today, we have the City Nature Challenge, which is affiliated with iNaturalist. As we're picking up litter, we're taking out our cell phones and we're documenting the flora and fauna of the park. Last year, we were 16th in the world in the number of species that were identified, and we hope to go up in rank again this year. The library is all about developing civic engagement, and one of the easiest and also most impactful ways that you can engage civically with your community is by helping your community pick up the trash. It's best to start with not littering in the first place, but that community spirit is really engendered by going behind people and picking up all the garbage and trash and litter that gets tossed all over the place. And we hope that people can come out here, do this actual very valuable work, and also make connections and meet their neighbors. The East Baton Rouge Parish Public Library's mission statement explicitly says, "We are a community service organization that connects people with new experiences and resources." We are here to engage the community in building capacity and building connectedness and building shared values, and also the sense of pride in our community. So an event like this, when it's pitched to us by outside organizations like the State Department of Tourism, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, the litter pickup kits that we're using today are available at a good many of our libraries to check out any day of the week by any patron to go out there and help clean up their neighborhoods.
Don't forget that you can actually check out litter kits at the library. Sure makes it easy to pitch in. And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/ebrpl. The Baton Rouge Room at the main library has a host of local cookbooks to take you back to the past. What favorite family cookie recipe did the Baker Fair make you think of? Are you willing to share? That's facebook.com/ebrpl, and while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow next month? Summer reading, of course. Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow, and remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 15 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.